You're watching East Tennessee weather. Weather when you want it.
All right, just cleaning the glasses here, my friends. 7 o'clock, got another appointment here later on today. So we'll see and give you an update on the eyes. How's everybody doing? Are we doing okay this morning? Did you enjoy yesterday afternoon? Did you finally get a chance to get out and enjoy the sunshine? Oh, man, that wind, though. That wind. I'll talk about our little Witcher's adventures yesterday coming up here in just a little bit because we did have a little bit of an adventure. It was a fun day for sure. Turned out to be fantastic. Now, this morning, we're starting off with some patchy, dense fog. So if you're new to Wake Up with the Witcher, welcome to the program here this morning. We'll get you out the door with a check of that forecast, and then we'll move right along with some T-Dot cameras. We'll talk about some holidays, and we'll kick back, relax, and have some coffee talk. Although, my water's still boiling in there or getting ready. So I didn't have time to get my coffee before the morning hours or before the show started. So either way. Here we are. I've got a glass of water. We're good enough, I suppose, for now. Clean winds dome, so we have some patchy, dense fog developing here to get the day started. So that's really going to be the story this morning. We do have some clouds hanging out across the mountain counties. Excuse me. Current temperatures are now in the 50s. So nice. We actually did. Remember yesterday I was talking about the fact that we could see some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. And if they were to go, they probably would go severe. Well, guess what? We still had a little bit of an unstable atmosphere during the late evening and early overnight hours, but that disturbance swung on through and did spark off a couple of showers late last night and through the overnight hours. But gorgeous views, some fog showing up there in Look Rock. A nice view of the sun getting ready to come up. Oh, it's going to... Well, the fog just, watch this, the camera just updates. The fog has now filtered its way into Look Rock. Current temperature, though, is 62 degrees. All right, so we do have some patchy, dense fog. If you're joining us from Granger County, Hamblin, Jefferson, Hawkins, Hancock, or Claiborne County, that's where we do have the thickest fog. You can see the fog is over into the North Carolina and the Smoky Mountains, which we just saw from that Look Rock camera, as the fog has filtered its way on into the area. But the fog's not going to be with us all day, nor are the clouds. Actually, the fog's going to burn off. We're going to see tons of sunshine as we get into the lunch hour, and then we'll start to see some fair weather cumulus clouds developing throughout the afternoon and into the early evening hours. Just a little bit of low-level moisture swinging its way in from the north and northwest, which does, by the way, a couple of other things. It dries the air out, and it's going to bring us more seasonable temperatures. Speaking of which, we're in the 50s and 60s this morning, so not a bad start to the day. It will be cooler tomorrow morning as the air continues to dry on out. So check out those rainfall totals. Now we'll talk about rainfall over the last 7 days because we've had a very active 7 days around East Tennessee with a lot of rain and obviously severe weather. But we had a seasonable day yesterday. Average highs are in the 70s and 80s, and that's exactly where we were yesterday afternoon. So it turned out to be a great day. But we did pick up a lot of rain since midnight. Over the last 7 days, look at the rainfall totals. I mean, incredible amounts of rain. So I said it on the program, if you watched the 24-hour channel or seen any of the weather updates so far on YouTube or through the East Tennessee weather app, but today's going to be a good day. Or I would say probably the next 3 to 4 days would be good days to conserve some energy, conserve some water, and save a few bucks. Who doesn't like to save a few bucks? Because you don't need to water your yards. You know, turn off those those automatic sprinkler systems and just turn those off for a couple days. We do not need to be watering our yards. Lo and behold, I bet my neighbor's going to be watering their yard today. One of my biggest pet peeves if you've been with me for a while. All right, here we go. So morning fog, sunshine with increasing afternoon fair weather cumulus clouds. We're going to see clear and pleasant conditions overnight tonight. It's really going to be a nice night tonight. And then the rest of the week, very comfortable. Perfect weather on the way. Don't forget to check in with the East Tennessee weather app every once in a while, though. The next weekend, we are talking about some scattered light rain showers, but notice I say light rain showers. So our dew points are going to continue to fall throughout the afternoon. So dew points are still in the 60s. That's why lows are in the 50s and 60s this morning. Your temperatures can and never will drop below the dew point. Now, this is the dew point at McGee-Tyson Airport, just to kind of cut everything in the middle. But again, dew points will continue to fall throughout the afternoon, and that's going to make for a very nice evening. Maybe you're on staycation. Maybe you want to do a fire pit night in the backyard. Tonight's going to be a perfect night for a Tuesday night fire pit. I actually posted my YouTube video earlier this morning. I put Monday. I was just thrown off because yesterday felt like a weekend, sort of. For me. Either way. All right, some patchy dense fog here this morning. We're going to see the fog burn off. We're going to see a gorgeous lunch hour. So make some sort of plans to maybe meet up with some coworkers, some friends, just get out and maybe take a nice little stroll around the neighborhood if you're off. And let the kids play out today. It's going to be perfect weather. If they are heading off to the swimming pools, it should be good today. But I think tomorrow it's going to have that little bit of a chillier feel to the air when they get out of the swimming pools thanks to the evaporation process taking place. All right, there's those fair weather cumulus clouds. We had a northwesterly flow setting up shop, so a trough is in with us, and that trough is what's going to bring us the cooler, slightly average, or if not slightly below average weather for the next several days. Not to mention some drier air, and that's why the air is going to continue to dry on out. By 7 o'clock tonight, we'll have a nice sunset around East Tennessee, and we will stay rain-free. All right, let's talk temps to get you out the door here this morning. We're nice and comfortable. We're in the 50s and 60s. We'll climb into the mid-70s by noon. Our goal today is going to be in the upper 70s to low, maybe a couple pockets of mid-80s down towards Chattanooga, but they typically have a warmer average high anyways. Average high temperature in Knoxville, I think, is around 81 degrees. So I missed it when I looked at the almanac. Anyways, your evening forecast, perfect night. Okay, air starts to dry out. That's going to make that mid-70s by 8 o'clock just feel absolutely amazing. So hopefully you get a chance to enjoy that this evening. If you're heading off to the ballparks, got some practices or evening events with the kids, if you happen to have kids. Or maybe you want to hit a nice afternoon and evening at the golf course, Lee. The golf course, I'm sure if Lee's on here already, I'm sure the golf course is just soaked. He said it yesterday in the chat that in our Witcher Weather Watchers chat, that the golf course is saturated. It's going to slow down those greens a little bit, kind of up you on your game. But we'll talk to Lee and see if the golf cart path only access is going to be with us again today, probably the next couple of days, thanks to all the rain. But we'll talk to Lee about that. So, Lee, go ahead and fire that away in the chat if you want. All right, so forecast lows, because the air continues to dry out overnight tonight, forecast lows will just be a little bit more comfortable. So it feels great. I actually have the studio door open right now, got some fog off the backyard, and it feels amazing. Actually kind of getting a little bit on the cool side, and that's the way tomorrow morning is going to feel as well. So maybe even a light jacket just to get the day started. But you won't need it all day. I mean, we're talking temperatures in the upper 70s. Upper 70s. Upper 70s. And drier air. Thanks to this trough of low pressure that's going to be swinging its way on through. I'll show you the big picture weather pattern and a look ahead coming up here in just a few minutes. Right now, though, let's take a quick break and check in on those TDOT cameras, because while we didn't have any traffic for the morning rush hour yesterday, traffic did build yesterday afternoon as a lot of people were just heading home for the day, getting off the lakes, leaving their barbecues. But the good news is that no issues on the roadways here so far this morning. We'll take a live look there at why are these not working? There we go. That one's working. This is live looked at 40 in Gallagher View Road. So grab the sunglasses. We're going to have a lot of morning sunshine and glare to get the day started. But no traffic troubles. Traffic is light. Maybe folks are taking a little bit of time off. There are no issues here around East Tennessee, which is great news. All right, let's go back to the upper level pattern. So here's a trough that's hanging out with us. This upper level trough is going to shift slowly east, and a ridge is going to bring us, start to work its way in from the west. So as we highlight that, you'll see that this trough starts to work its way east. That takes our storm track on out of here. So the storm track lifts its way to the northeast, the Great Lakes, the Mid-Atlantic, and that's going to produce some more showers and thunderstorms and up across the upper Midwest and the Northeast. I should say the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. Now, this ridge starts to build on him, and a ridge typically brings us happy weather, right? But the issue is, and not really an issue, it is going to bring us some gorgeous weather through the rest of the week, and by the end of the week anyways. This takes us all the way through Friday, by the way. So then we pick up our timeline on Friday and show you the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So that's the upper levels, the jet stream pattern. Now let's take a look at the mid-levels of the atmosphere, because this lets us know when we have little waves and disturbances moving on through. This is how we are tracking the severe weather here this past weekend, although we don't have any severe weather parameters or ingredients in place. But watch this. The ridge starts to build. Here comes this upper little wave. It's going to bring us increasing clouds late in the day on Friday, probably a little bit of light rain on Saturday. Little ridge builds again on into our Sunday, so I don't anticipate a whole lot of activity this weekend. But then another disturbance swings in Sunday into Monday, and that may increase or elevate our rain chances. So let's talk rain chances here this week. So we are looking at, let me get my mouse off there. So rain free all the way through Friday. Rain free all the way through Friday. Yeah, are we in with that? Are we good? It's going to be great. Splash pads are open. Swimming pools are open now. The unofficial start to summer is officially here. The unofficial start to summer is officially here. But those rain chances do increase a little bit on Saturday, maybe a little bit more Sunday, Monday time frame. Confidence is low, and again, the rain chances won't be a whole lot. So when you look at the rainfall forecast over the next 3 days, this takes us all the way through Thursday, because again, remember, today is Tuesday. Take us all the way through Saturday. Not a lot of rain. More off to our west. The Great Plains, the Rocky Mountains, going to see a lot of rain. And then all the way through next Monday. Again, maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain. Again, this is just kind of broad brushing it, so we'll see how this all plays out, and this will likely change a little bit over the next several days. But rain will increase from Nashville to Memphis. How much of that actually works its way into our area by Sunday, Monday timeframe? Again, this only goes through Monday morning at 8 o'clock. So if we were to elevate those rain chances on Monday, we'll likely see what Nashville is probably seeing, and we'll see increasing rain. But that's not until next Monday. So from now until then, like I said, don't forget to check back in with the app every once in a while. And join me on Wake Up with Witcher Monday, every day this week, okay? Every day this week. We'll take the weekend off. But boy, I'll tell you, it is just amazing weather. Look at these temps. Average high is 81. So we'll be hovering at or slightly below average. So we'll just call it in the middle and say average weather all the way through the week, into the upcoming weekend, and even the start of next week. So this is the kind of May weather I'm talking about. No rain, no disturbances. Look at these morning lows, too. It's going to be so nice. So nice. Now, those morning lows do increase. Notice Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Why? Anybody? Because dew points increase. And so as the dew points increase, our morning lows will increase as well. So highlighting the weekend forecast, the disturbance swings in. Light rain is possible, but we are going to be right there in the upper 70s to low 80s. So if you were scared off the lake here this past weekend and you're a lake goer, a boater, this is going to be a perfect weekend to hit the lake, as long as we don't get a whole lot of rain, and I don't think that we will. Now, anybody traveling across the country, remember the app goes with you. If you're heading on vacation, remember your app goes with you as well. So if you don't have the app, just go to the Google Play Store or the App Store and search EastTN Weather, all one word. Looking at the big picture for severe weather risk across the country, it's going to stay over into Texas and Oklahoma, parts of Colorado. Colorado's probably going to get, this is the time of year that, the severe weather risk starts to shift its way towards the Great Plains. A lot of times in March, April, and the beginning of May, it's kind of across the deep south. That does bring us severe weather. Then that severe weather risk starts to shift its way over to the classic Tornado Alley. You're talking Colorado to Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. And I think that's really the pattern all the way through the end of the week. So you can see that severe weather risk there. So if anybody has travel plans off to our west, southwest over the next few days, keep in mind that you may run into severe weather, which again, let me say that the app goes with you. So if you do travel for your job, your salesman, whatever you may be, and you travel across the country for your job, the East Tennessee Weather app does go with you. And so if you do have business trips coming up, remember, you can just type in at the top of the app itself the city you may be traveling to, or the cities that you travel to more frequently. You can allow notifications, and so you will get severe weather alerts or inclement weather alerts right there through the East Tennessee Weather app. So you don't have to download another app because you are traveling for business. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so seasonable temperatures all the way through, possibly the first week of June with maybe above average rainfall. And then June 5th through the 11th, seasonable or maybe even slightly below average weather may start to work its way on in, with the potential for more average rainfall at that point of the game. All right, let's say good morning to everybody. See how we're doing. Did you enjoy the yesterday? Did you get a chance to get out? So the Witchers, I was extremely tired. And I know, Julie, I'm sorry. I laid down to try to take a nap, but my alarm clock goes off every hour because I'm still having to put eye drops in, right? So it's hard to take a nap when that goes off every hour. I took about a 45-minute to an hour nap. Exhausted for sure. Exhausted. My patients were a little bit on the low side yesterday. We got a little tense in the house for a little bit, but per me, that was my fault. Just tired. It was tired. So my wife, we were trying to figure out something to do. And I was like, okay, well, hold off. We may see some of these afternoon showers and thunderstorms, so I just need to pay attention for a little bit longer. So right around noon or so, we were like, okay, fine. So the wife's like, you know what? I'm just going to go. We threw out a couple of ideas, from hiking to all these other things, but I just didn't have the energy, and the kids didn't really want to go. We threw out paddleboarding. We do have paddleboards, and we live next to the lake. And so I didn't really want to go. It was windy. I was like, this is going to be a disaster First time the kids are going to be on the lake. I really wasn't. I mean, I can't get wet, so I couldn't get in the lake because I can't get my eyes wet. So I had to really be careful and really take it easy on the lake. But my wife's like, I don't care, I'm going. And so her and my youngest son were going to go. They started packing up the paddle boards and going, and I was harumphing inside the kitchen, cleaning the kitchen. Fine, I'll stay home because my brother-in-law is coming into town this week to help me kind of re-navigate all the East Tennessee weather. And so I was really frustrated. I was tired. I was cranky. I was probably hangry as well. And so finally I started packing up. Well, my older son couldn't go because he's like, I'm not going to paddleboard by myself. And I don't think he's efficient enough to paddleboard by himself. And so we, lo and behold, he was all frustrated that he couldn't go. So I said, fine, I'll go. Reluctantly. So I get my paddleboard down, blow it up, and get everything ready to go. All of a sudden, I start lighting up. I was like, okay, fine. Let's make the best of this, and let's go have some fun. So the neighbors and I took all the kids out to the cove where we live, and we all went paddleboarding and drifting. We went drifting because that wind coming off the lake right there was just, I mean, the wind was breezy. It was windy. And then so we just kind of drifted down through another cove, and then we had to get back, and we were all taking bets on how long, because now we have to paddle upstream, and it was almost like paddling upstream without paddle. Kind of how it felt, anyways. But it only took us 30 minutes. We thought it was going to take us an hour to get back. It only took us 30 minutes, and it turned out to be a great day. By the way, I will say, if the UV index is going to be on the higher side throughout the afternoon, and because of that, the sunburn city is going to start to work back. Did you get your first sunburn of the season yesterday? I did get a little bit, so I couldn't. I had to wear a hat and stuff like that because I can't put sunscreen on my face right now. And we did put sunscreen on, but we forgot to put sunscreen on the kids' legs, and so they're sitting on the paddle boards. They were playing in the water too, but they were sitting on the paddle boards, and their poor little legs got a little bit on the toastier side. Not too terribly bad, but a little toasty. So just kind of food for thought that, if you do work outside, remember UV index does increase here this time of the year. And so that is going to be for Sunburn City. And ain't nobody like a sunburn. And you know how it always goes. We always get that first one of the season. The skin is super tender. And so even if you get a little bit of sun, the skin is super tender from the winter season. Not seeing some sunshine. Trust me, you don't want to see these white chicken legs. And so, yeah, that first one always is the worst. Always the worst one. Oh, nice. Townsend starts summer camp. I can't pull up the chat today. For some reason, it's not working where I can pull it up to the program here. But good morning, Townsend. Townsend James over in Corrington. He starts summer camp today. Weather will be perfect for summer campers. Yeah, summer camp start today. My kids actually start tomorrow. They're doing summer school camp with a school system. So they're still learning, still staying back in school a little bit, but they have a lot more fun. Not your typical camp. But so Nathan, tell Townsend I said hi this morning. Or Townsend, if you're listening, buddy, hey, you go behave today and have a great day. Because summer camp, I tell you, summer camp is amazing. What kind of summer camp is he doing, Nathan? Which one is he? Which one did you decide to do? Because there's so many different summer camps. Some are a week. Some are the entire summer. We used to do Camp Big Fish with the kids. They did that for, 3 years or so. And then they kind of got tired of it. And so we looked at some other ones. But summer camps are expensive. Like some of those ones, like, you got baseball camps. You got soccer camps. So that are like a week long. Other summer camps, of course, daycare programs, because we still got to work no matter what, even though the kids are off. Did you ever do summer camp growing up? I didn't really do summer camp. My mom was a stay-at-home mom while we were younger, and then ended up going back to work when we got a little bit older. And so she actually held daycare at the house. So we always had daycare at the house, and so we had a bunch of kids, always played. And plus, I had a great neighborhood that we were all off, and we played all the time. We rode our bikes all over the place because our neighborhoods, it was Denver, Colorado, so it's sectioned off in like, I think it's like 1 mile blocks, like city blocks. And so within that 1 mile square radius, which would not be 1 mile, but you know what you get the point. There were multiple neighborhoods in that square mile, and so we could ride our bikes all through the neighborhoods. We had friends from, that lived in the neighborhoods that went to school with, But like here in East Tennessee, I feel like it's a little bit harder because our neighborhoods are a little bit more sectioned off. There are some, of course, that connect to others, which is great. I wish they would connect the neighborhoods a little bit more. So you didn't have to get out on the main roads because we don't have sidewalks. So the kids can't like be like, hey, I'm going to go over to Colin's house today and ride his bike over there. We have to drive him over there, even though it's literally the next neighborhood over. You know what I mean? Oh, Pat's looking forward to the beautiful weather, so I'm going to have to just read these. I can't put them up on the screen. I don't know why it's not working today. Maybe we inundated it with the severe weather. So Lee says, yes, if you're heading out to the golf courses today, cart path only, and will probably be that way for a few days. I would likely think so. So Lee, let me ask you a question. Since I talked about conservation and water and not water, what does the golf course do when we get a lot of rain? Do you actually go in and shut down the sprinkler system and say we don't need any more rain? Especially since nobody can get on the greens themselves or the fairways themselves, and it's cart path only. What do you do as a golf course? I'd be curious because I don't know really what golf courses do in a situation like this. I know we get busy with life. We head off to work. We don't think about our sprinkler systems, but save a few bucks to do some water conservation. It's always a good thing. Let's see. Lucy says, good morning, Mike. My radar app, my radar map for the last week just shows the map, nothing else. What am I doing wrong on my Android phone? All right, let's answer this. So, okay, Lucy, are you on your phone or are you on your computer right now? If you're on your phone, that's fine. Just go ahead and open the East Tennessee Weather app. Let me just show you. Let's see if we can't fix this together while we're on the screen here. So if you go to the go to the radar, okay? So, Lucy, I'm going to give you a little bit of time, but if anybody's having any issues, I know some folks have had some issues with their current location showing Huntsville, Alabama. That is the default. That's where the weather computer comes out of. So if you are having that issue, make sure you, let's see, I'll walk you through that, but you can send me an email with that issue. And then I can send that back to the app developers, and they will fix that issue for you because it will be specifically for your phone. So if you are having that issue, I'll show you how to do that. But anyways, Lucy, if you're still following along, here we go. Click on the interactive radar. And then the top right-hand side of the screen, see that cog wheel? Click on that cog wheel, okay? That's going to take you to this screen. And make sure your national radar. Just do national radar. Nobody really, these are good, but just do national radar because that's going to give you current, past, and future radar. Remember, these other East Tennessee, Nashville, Kentucky, which that's supposed to be high top, by the way. But anyways, because of that, so these won't give you the future radar. So click on the national radar and then come back to the radar screen and zoom out. Let's see if we have any rain anywhere across the country. We do. So then move the camera down to Texas and let me know if you have rain showing up on your East Tennessee Weather app. Great question this morning. I'm here to help you out. So, anytime you have any issues with the app or the platform, remember, you can always get the interactive radar with the East Tennessee online as well at easttnweather.com. If you're at work and we're broadcasting live like we were a lot this past weekend for severe weather coverage, or you're at work right now and you just got to the office and you want to join Wake Up with Witcher, don't worry. You can join from your computer. What you would do at that point of the game, let me show you what you do. So we'll go back to this. We'll just type in easttnweather.com. And then right there at the top, you have click watch live. So if you click that, that will take you to this live platform or anytime I'm ever live with severe weather coverage. Now, I do send everybody usually with severe weather coverage. I usually send them to the app to watch live severe weather coverage or anything like that, any inclement weather coverage. But again, I send people to the app because everyone's out and running around. They have it in their back pocket. But you can also watch all this on easttnweather.com, not to mention Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and YouTube. So don't forget about those. You don't always have to watch on that small, teeny, tiny cell phone if you don't need to. But great question this morning, Lucy. Kimberly says, after a 1-year-old grandson, I took a 2-hour nap. Oh, Lord, I was dead. My house looks like 100 kids had a party in it. That doesn't stop. I mean, you had kids, right? Now that you have grandkids, it doesn't stop. Oh, Janelle said, bye. Bye, Janelle. Did she leave? I didn't hear her car leave. Did she say bye on here? I don't know. Either way. Pam says, you made my hubby's day. No more rain. He's ready to get back to work. I believe, Pam, you said he mows yards or lawns, mows grass, I should say. And so I think that's what you said. And so, yeah, we'll be able to, those guys will be able to get back at it. The yards are going to be growing like weeds, the grass with all the sunshine this week and the comfortable weather. I mean, our yards are going to just spurt up like crazy. Linda says, good morning. Headed to Knoxville from Harlan County, Kentucky. Going on a mystery trip with a local Knoxville company that leaves tomorrow. A mystery trip? That sounds amazing. Glad the app travels with me. It does travel across the world, too. You can get information across the world. Now, sometimes it will switch, by the way, to Celsius. Okay? Sometimes it will switch to Celsius. But I think if you click on the app, so if you look at current conditions and you're in a country that has Celsius, which we're the only country that does Fahrenheit, it will switch over to current temperatures as Celsius is what I've seen so far. Because remember, we're going to St. John in June in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Hopefully, this is going to be interesting to see how East Tennessee Weather broadcasts live, but potentially going to be broadcasting live from St. John. If not, we will try to do our best to update everything. But the winters are going to take a quick little vacation while the weather is quiet. But again, it switches to Celsius on the current temperatures. But if you click on the forecast itself, I believe it switches back to Fahrenheit for some crazy reason. But anyways, Janelle did say bye. Oh, Lee says, heck, I'm tan already from playing golf in shorts. Nice. Well, you're doing better than me. Kat's got her first sunburn of the season last Monday. Kat. Oh, boy. And it probably didn't feel so good, did it? It's always like tan skin looks better than white skin. I just, I feel like we all look a little bit better with a little bit of glow and tan to ourselves, but make sure to wear that sunscreen. Remember the other day we talked about the fact that we talked about it yesterday, actually. One of the hot national holidays was basically wearing sunscreen. Time to wear that sunscreen. And women, a lot of the times, men, we tend to not do that kind of stuff, wear sunscreen. Women do because they're like, I don't want their skin to age. We're like, I don't care. But maybe a good time to think about wearing that sunscreen. Let's see. The wind blew one of my power lines down in the neighborhood, and we were without power for 5 hours. That was Katrina, or maybe that was Eva. Either way. So we had quite a few power outages. Hopefully folks have gotten their power restored. Katrina says, I need an adult summer camp. Dude, that would be fun. Let's just do a meet and greet. How about that? I got a lot of work ahead of me today. We're going to try to set up some more meet and greets. I don't know if Charles is on here. I know Charles has offered to do a meet and greet at his house in Morristown, but maybe we just do it at an establishment. I don't know, but I'm going to try to set up some more meet and greets so we can get going this summer. So Camp Wesley Woods on Sunday. So Laura's dropping her daughter Leah off at Camp Wesley Woods on Sunday. Ooh, I've heard Camp Wesley Woods is amazing, by the way. I wish I could have gone to that camp. I didn't. So I did Boy Scout summer camp. That's the camp I did every summer. But we'd always go back, since my mom was off, we'd always go back to Maine for like a month every summer. So we'd live in Maine for like a month every summer at a camp on a lake. So my grandparents owned a cabin when they were alive on a lake, Lake Webb. Search that one. It's like in the middle of nowhere, Maine. And so dirt roads, and they had little there's this like, it's just like little camps along the lake. And then they had little putt-putt golf, and we'd always go down to the store and get ice cream. That's where I learned to drive a canoe. I say drive a canoe, or drive a boat, I should say. And the canoe I learned to paddle in, I actually have in my backyard. A 1956 Grumman canoe. Aluminum. It is an oldie, but it is awesome. And my dad, for my birthday, because remember, this is my birthday week. Remember that. Friday, baby. I don't necessarily know that I'm looking forward to this one, but here we go. I guess it's happening, and I feel good about it, I guess. But my dad bought me a new motor for the canoe. I had like a 1982 old motor that he gave me for the canoe. Now, while we can paddle on the canoe, it's nicer to pop the canoe into the cove. We can head down and have dinner at a restaurant nearby. So it's a lot of fun, but that motor was extremely loud. It leaked gas everywhere. We got caught out on the lake several times because it leaked gas, and we ran out of gas. We didn't have the gas can with us. And so we had to paddle back. But at least we brought the paddles. So I'm looking forward to some summertime on the canoe. That's as best as I can do right now is a canoe. I would like a boat. I really would like a boat. So badly. Or jet skis. Like, we have access to the lake. We don't live on the lake. We have access to the lake. And so we can be on the lake in literally five minutes. And we have TVA approved land on the lake too, which is really cool. It came with the house that we moved into. So we can build a dock. But the problem is it goes underneath the train tracks, and you can't really get a big boat underneath those train tracks. Cheryl says an adult version of summer camp might be considered a marriage retreat. Nothing for singles that I know of. There we go. Anybody done a marriage retreat before? Are they good? Are they good for the soul? Good for the marriage? Good morning, Donna. She's joining us from Greenback, Glendale. Boy, you had some storms down towards Greenback, didn't you? Lee says, our system is a manual system and has to be set to go off every day. Otherwise, it does not turn on. All right. So, Lee, who determines that? Who determines when you turn it on? Is that you? Or is that the maintenance folks with the golf course? And how do you determine that? Do you measure the soil moisture? Because, I mean, sure, those golf courses have to have, I mean, they're nice, right? And so that the grass has to have probably a certain moisture content to create the amazing golf course that it is. By the way, Lee works at Knoxville Municipal Golf Course off of Shad Road. And so if you're ever there, he's a great, friendly guy. Deep voice. Man, Lee, you're a good dude. I like you. So Townsend James is we go to a Kids Place summer camp in Mascot. That's cool. Is he excited? Hopefully he's excited for it. And hopefully he comes in, or maybe if he's not excited this morning, hopefully he comes back home with a smile going, that was so fun. That was the way that my kids were, Nathan. They were always like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to. And just complain about everything, right? Then they get home and they're like, oh, that was a lot of fun. Well, sometimes you just got to believe in mom and dad. We kind of sometimes know what's best for you. Sometimes. Eva says, I got one of my good friends to download your app on Sunday. Nice, Eva, thanks. So Donna got sunburned yesterday. I got a little bit of sun on my face as well. Good morning, Cody. Late to the party, per usual. But we're glad you're here, bud. Let's see. What else we got? This mouse isn't working. I need a new mouse. I still have not purchased that mouse that I asked about the other day. Let's see. Come see us Saturday at Marble Springs State Historic Site for Tennessee Statehood Day 11 through 4. So it's 11 through 4 next Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, Marble Springs State Historic Site. Where is that? What county is that in, Felicia? That sounds like something fun to do. I like this. I like when you add things or, events that are going on the chat because it gives me things to think about and be like, oh, what can we do? I'm going to be busy working this weekend since my brother-in-law is coming in town on Wednesday. We're going to reconfigure all of East Tennessee. Now that I've been here for over 7 months, and he came and helped me set up because he works for Apple. He's really smart, and he's a tech guy. And so we're going to try to get some of this, get the gremlins out of here, get the echo out of the Witcher Weather Watchers when they join us live on the program. We're going to reconfigure and re-network everything to kind of make things work a little bit more smoothly. Now that I have like a routine that I do. So that should be, so we're going to be busy working this weekend, but we are going to take the day off for my birthday, I think, on Friday. And maybe Saturday too, because my wife has to work on my birthday. So we were like talking yesterday going, oh, well, maybe we'll just not do anything. I'm still going to do something to celebrate my birthday on Friday because that's what I like to do. But Saturday, the discussion, depending on how busy we are, is like we are going to go do something fun so we can include my wife, which would be a lot of fun. Kat's still waiting for a creme brulee. Oh, man, I haven't made that for a while, Kat. I need to. Maybe I will soon. And then I'll let you know when I make it. So keep reminding me. Keep putting that information back in the back of my head. I got too much information going on all the time. I hope today is JoJo Williams. I guess you missed the forecast from the top. You joined in. You posted at 7:28. If you're just now tuning in, it is going to be gorgeous for the next several days. Beautiful weather. We're going to have a few fair weather cumulus clouds, drier air, temperatures 70s and low 80s. So, yes. And perfect fire pit nights ahead of us this week. So great weather on the way. Carol says, love the app. Just got back from a road trip to Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. Great having weather alerts everywhere I went. So you got the weather alerts because Texas had some severe weather, I think. So great. That is awesome to hear. Thank you, Carol, for letting me know about that. That's fantastic news. See, it works wherever you go. Cheryl wants a pontoon boat. I do too. I actually want a deck boat. Kimberly says, let's go have in on half on a speedboat. Okay, I'm down for that. We're trying to convince my neighbors to go and halvesies on a boat. Not that we should really buy a boat right now, but it would be a lot of fun in the summertime. I think they've owned a boat before, so they know the troubles with boats. They're like, I think the husband wants to. The wife's like, we've already been down this road before. I think what do they say? The best day to own a boat is the day you buy it and the day you sell it. Is that what they say? What up, Buck? How are you, my friend? I know we had a private message going about your wife working at my kids' school. I don't really like to announce where my kids go to school, just because, I don't know, the society that we live in. Anyways, Buck, is your wife working summer school this summer at the kids' school? Because my kids will be going back tomorrow, which is kind of a bummer too, because my wife's like, great, that means we still have to wake up at like 6:30 every single day. That's true. That's true. Thanks, Kimberly. Is my forehead's not that red, is it? Well, maybe a little bit. We got Vicky watching us this morning from Surfside Beach. Where is Surfside Beach? Is that South Carolina, North Carolina? Is that Florida or Georgia? Or is it California? Let me know, Vicky, where Surfside Beach is. I don't know where that is. Lee says, you're going to kick out those gremlins. Yes, we're going to kick out some of the gremlins. Hopefully we can get rid of some of these gremlins. Man, I tell you, so much tech in here. I had one of the What's Your Weather watchers who's actually my neighbor. He walks every day in the neighborhood. And he stopped by to see the studio yesterday. Well, he was walking. I said, hey, come over and see the studio. Gave him a hat, which, by the way, still working on that. What's Your Weather watcher still working on the hats and the shirts. So those will be coming our way here very soon. Oh, Cody says, last summer I went out on the sun 3 days straight swimming, no sunscreen, and ended up with sun poisoning. My face swelled up, had to go to the doctor, and yeah, pretty bad. It's always those first ones, but yeah. I did too as a kid, so that's why I go to, I've talked about this before, I go to the dermatologist every year, especially my age, and due to the fact that when I was a kid, I got really badly sunburned on my back. I have a lot of freckles on my back now because of that, so I get those checked out every year. They popped up. I also, as a kid, I used to walk around barefoot all the time in the neighborhood, and there was one summer that the pavement, and this is something to think about with your kids, if you happen to have kids, think about, there's a mosquito in here now that I've got the door open. But anyways, I ended up burning the bottom of my feet. They were so bad, they blistered up, and I couldn't wear it I was wearing shoes. And I had to walk on the sides of my feet. That was awful. I remember that. Katrina, have a great day at work, my friend. Thanks for joining us this morning. Oh, yeah, there we go. Buck says, fix the gremlins in the system. Take an Anakista trip this weekend with your family. Well, it's just my brother-in-law. Probably not his style to go to Anakista. He's a tech guy. He's like, you should see his studio. I mean, my studio is pretty cool, but his is dark and glowy, and he works in the in the basement studio. Kat says, hey, I think we should all meet at Orange Hat for Mike's birthday on Friday. Well, we will likely be at Orange Hat at some point in the game. Listen, if I can get my schedule set, the thing is I don't really like to set a schedule for my birthday. But we do a brew tour. That's likely what we're going to be doing. Maybe Saturday too, if my wife wants to join us. But I always like to do a brew tour on my birthday for some reason. I don't know why. Just check out different craft places that, we have a lot of craft breweries here in town. But because of where I live, we typically don't hit a lot of those. And so I like to check out the ones that we don't typically hit. I hit Orange Hat all the time, but we'll likely end up at Orange Hat at some point of the game. So maybe I'll post it on social and be like, we're at Orange Hat. Or if you see it on social, because I'll probably post throughout the day on social. Maybe not too long through the day. We'll see how the day goes. If you catch my drift. Anyways, and so if I post on social and we're somewhere, maybe you can come join us out. Join us out and about. That'd be a lot of fun. Be a lot of fun. Laura, your cousin in Johnson City is selling her boat. Really? Really? Why would you tempt me like that? That ain't cool. That ain't cool. All right, this doesn't really make sense to me. This doesn't really make sense to me at all. The national holidays. I feel like this should have been yesterday. But today's national holidays, and this really doesn't make sense to me either. So we have National Beef Burger Day, but we also have National Hamburger Day. What the what? What's the difference? Should we dive into the details and find out the difference in that? Boy, that looks good, doesn't it? It looks so good. Okay, National Beef Burger Day. If you hear a sizzle and your mouth begins to water, just did, thanks for looking at the picture, it might just be National Beef Burger Day. On May 28th and all summer long, there's no better time to enjoy a juicy beef burger. True. The day is about kicking off and the grilling season and honoring America's favorite grilling protein, beef. It's what's for dinner. So if you cook hamburgers tonight, maybe do a hashtag it, put it on social media. Hashtag it National Beef Burger Day. But today is also National Hamburger Day. So what is that one does not look good. That one looks like a cold that looks awful. Look at the difference between those. Like, come on. That one looks nice, warm, juicy, messy, my style. If it's not messy, it's not good. This one looks like it's been sitting on the shelf for a while, if you know what I'm talking about. All right, so National Hamburger Day says National Hamburger Day wraps up National Burger Month. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So we're wrapping up National. I didn't know this was National Burger Month. I don't remember seeing that on May 1st. Also ushers in the summer grilling season, so National Hamburger Day. But I think they could have done a little bit better job on that photo. That does not look appetizing. But it is National Brisket Day, my friends. And I told you I wanted to do a brisket yesterday. I did not, but that looks mouthwatering. It looks a little dry, actually. If you any barbecuers out there, doesn't that look a little bit dry? Come on now. Come on. We got to get better at these photos here. NationalHolidays.com calendar thing. Every year on May 28th, National Brisket Day celebrates one of the 9 prime cuts of beef. Brisket comes from the breast or lower chest of the beef or veal, and when prepared correctly, renders both flavor and tenderness. And there's nothing better, in my personal opinion, than some brisket. I do like me some brisket. Got some congestion starting to show up, so your typical morning rush hour now starting to get underway. Slow to get on Interstate 40 from 640, but not too terribly bad. I think the traffic is relatively light considering it is the day after a holiday and all of us getting back to work and getting us back into the swing of things. Mary says, thanks for keeping us informed through the stormy night. You're very welcome. We very much appreciate you. But don't forget us here in Seymour, Boyds Creek area of Sevier County. I didn't. I talked about Seymour quite a bit, I thought. You used to always let us know when the storms were approaching. Thanks for all you do. Well, I apologize if I missed Seymour several times. I will do my best better for sure. But you're very welcome, and thank you for reaching out, Mary. Deborah's joining us, so we've got a lot of newer folks joining us on Wake Up with Witcher this morning. Thanks for all the updates and mornings yesterday and last night, the night before last. Oh, I'm reading the wrong thing. I'm reading the wrong chat. Darn it! What was I doing there? I thought that was weird. I was at the end of the chat, and I was like, I didn't think I was at the end of the chat. That's the old chat from severe weather. So there you go, the one that's not working. But I can put those on. But yours, for some reason, are not populating on the screen. Cody wants to see the logo after it's completed. Cody, so I took your logo, basically, that you sent me, sent the National Weather Service Skywarn Storm Spotter Program logo, sent my logo, and said, incorporate something of East Tennessee severe weather using these logos. So I did send her your idea. I've not heard back, by the way, so I got to put that on my list. Call about merch. Okay, so I'll get that on my list. I make myself notes and lists because if I don't put it on paper, then it doesn't happen. Kimberly, do you ever ask anybody how old they're going to be? Oh, wait, no, men don't ever ask women how old they're going to be. I guess it's okay if women ask men how old. I'm going to be 47. 47 this year. Beer in Townsend and tubing on the river. Today should be a great day for that. This week's going to be a great day for tubing on the river in Townsend. Good morning, Millie. She's joining us from Fountain City this morning. Nice. Your wife, Susan, starts her last summer school in Greenback School. She's retiring from school. Jorge saying this. She's still young, but she has her years in. That's so amazing. So guess who has to stay home? Who guess has to stay keep working? Jorge says, so guess who has to stay keep working? Me. Yeah. Yeah, well, you and me both, buddy. Working 7 days a week. One day we'll get to the point where I don't have to, but I like being with you all 7 days a week. I like doing weather. It's a grind for sure, but owning your business is a grind anyways. We got home yesterday just to leave Friday for camping season. Ooh, nice, Tom. If I recall, I think you guys have a big camper, don't you? I believe you have a big camper. Let's see. What else we got going on here? Everybody good? Tom says, looks like that picture of that hamburger has been there all month. Yeah. Brisket's so good. Sage says, hey, good morning, Mike. Which I heard you broadcast on my favorite rock station yesterday morning. WVLZ. Love it. That's awesome. I'm on WVLZ. I'm on I'm going to have to get all these out. I added a new one, by the way. I'm now currently in Loudoun County at WLOD. I know probably you don't know those call letters, but I'm on Fox Sports Radio. I'm on Joy 620 and Talk Radio, and I'm on Loud Media. So I'm on WGAP. WKCE is Mid-Century Radio. I forget what WGAP is. WKVL is 90s and 2000s. And WVLZ is the rock station. So that's awesome. So I am on all those stations. So I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm on 8 radio stations now in East Tennessee. Isn't that pretty cool? I send them my forecast every single day, 3 times a day. And I'm also on WLOD in Loudoun County. So anybody from Loudoun County, turn on WLOD, listen to some tunes, and grab your latest forecast from yours truly. Jacqueline says, this teacher will be watching Out for the Summer. Nice. That's amazing. Love me some Rush, Buck. One of my first concerts I ever went to was Rush, by the way. Oh, you have an A class and then you tow your Jeeps behind it? My wife wants an A class. No. Is it the C class? Which is the one? What's the camper that you drive? And it's like a motorhome. What's a motorhome? I think those are like C classes, right? Maybe it's A class. My wife wants one of those. She's like, do you know how much easier it would be? You just drive this thing, pull in, and you're already set up. You got your kitchen, your beds, and you don't have to set up. We have a 1982 pop-up tent Coleman, a pop-up camper. Like, it's old. And we're about done with it, I think. But anyways, so, yeah, I'm ready. We're ready to do some camping. Betty loves WLOD. Nice. That's awesome. Jacqueline just moved to Loudoun, so check out WLOD. I've not heard the radio station yet, but he reached out to me the other day and said, hey, do you do this? Do you do radio weather? I said, actually, I do. I've got 7 radio stations, and so you'll be able to hear me on all those radio stations. Felicia says there are a lot of events at historical sites this weekend for Tennessee Statehood Day, but Marble Springs State Historic Site on John Sevier Highway in South Knoxville will be the most fun. Games, reenactments, and crafts. You've seen Rush 16 times, Buck. I think I've seen Rush probably 5 or 6 times. Seen them in Atlanta. Seen them at Red Rocks. saw them at Fiddler's Green in Denver when Fiddler's Green was. And Tom Petty was my first concert. Rush was my second. And I think Big Head Todd and the Monsters was my third, I think. I used to keep all of my my concert ticket stubs. They used to like line the row of my shelving above my desk at home when I was growing up. But I don't think I threw them away. I think they're in a box. Well, funny story, actually. Okay, so my wife's parents, when we go to St. John here in the next couple of weeks, and again, the goal is to be broadcasting from St. John. That is the goal. They have fast enough internet, but they said they lose power quite frequently, so let's hope that doesn't happen. But the goal is going to be broadcasting live from St. John from the 14th through the 19th. And then from the 19th through the 23rd, I will be broadcasting live from my brother's office in Denver, Colorado. I'm excited to do that. We're taking my dad to the Rolling Stones for his birthday. I can say that. My dad doesn't watch the program. My mom does every once in a while, although it's only 5:50 in the morning Denver time. So then I'm going to have to get up really early to get everything going because, I lose 2 hours of time. St. John's is still Eastern time zone, but in Denver, it's 2 hours behind. And so it's going to make for some fun travel. So I would imagine so bear with me here when we do that. Bear with me and the East Tennessee Weather Platform. Hopefully the weather plays out nicely. And I don't need to be broadcasting live from a place that has spotty internet. But the goal is to get everything up and running and broadcast live and do Wake Up with Witcher every morning from the beautiful background that you will see of St. John. I'm so excited. And that is really what I love about what I'm doing is literally I can grab a backpack, literally a backpack. It's a carry-on of all my equipment and broadcast on the road. You saw me do that from Little Arrow Resort, and so the goal is to be able to do this a lot more. I will be broadcasting live coming up on June 12th from Yeehaw Brewing Company, remember, in downtown for their summer concert series. And so the goal is to be able to broadcast live wherever I go and really help highlight some businesses around town as well. So I'll be able to broadcast from businesses and highlight them. By the way, I'm going to be heading over to a Bridge Brewing Company later on this morning. And because they have offered to put East Tennessee Weather up in their establishments, I told them I'd come out and highlight them. So we're going to you'll see it later on, probably this week sometime. You'll see a reel come out highlighting Jesse, a Bridge Brewing Company, and their new equipment. And we're going to talk to him why he decided to do that. Why did he decide to put weather in his establishment? And so you'll be able to see that on a reel on social media. And I'll put that on YouTube as well. So that's coming up. Hey, good morning, Julie. Nice to see you here. Oh, so it's a Class A, Tom? Okay. Anyways. Oh, but anyways, I got sidetracked for a second. What I was saying about those concert stubs is that, so when we leave, my wife's parents are coming out to watch the kids while we're gone. And we're going to be gone in like 4 or 5 days or so. Anyways, and I told my father-in-law, by the way, I said, listen, if all else fails, I'll show you what to do. And you can, my father-in-law would be great. He'd be a hoot probably if he could figure all this tech out, but probably not the case. So maybe you'll see my father-in-law on East Tennessee Weather. I don't know. But anyway, so because they're coming out, they actually are cleaning out their house. You know, they're getting older where they're like, okay, we got all this kid stuff still, boxes and whatnot. And so what they actually do is they're driving out with a U-Haul and they're bringing my wife I think 11 or 14 boxes, childhood boxes that are stuck in their house. So they have to drive it out because they're not going to ship all that stuff. And so they said, hey, Mike, do you have any childhood boxes at home at your mom's house? Because my dad doesn't have any of that, of my stuff. And I said, probably. Actually, I know she does. And so they met up yesterday, I guess it was. Day before. Yesterday, I think it was. And they met up, and my mom gave him 2 boxes. So my wife's coming out with like 11 or 14, and my mom's only had 2. Although my mom did say that she did have some other boxes that she thinks are mine, but she couldn't access them because they were on the shelves in her garage. And, she's pushing 80, so we don't want her like climbing ladders and whatnot. And I don't think my brother's had a chance to get over there. But, and she was about to tell me what was in those boxes. I said, no, don't tell me what's in those boxes. This is going to be like Christmas, childhood Christmas. I have no clue what my mom has. The stuff I have here in storage is like stuff from college. And so I'm so curious to see. I said, no way. I want Christmas. I want to be surprised and see what's in this box. However, that she thinks, and she alluded to the fact that the box that I really want, I don't think I'm getting. So it makes me even more unknown of what those boxes are. But I have a ton of baseball cards from growing up that are really some pristine baseball cards that have been boxed up. And some of them are, I've got, let's see, the New York Mets, the Darryl Strawberry era. I have the whole team. They've signed all the cards for the whole team. I think they were World Series champions that year as well. I think, don't quote me on that. And I have the whole cards in a nice plastic container. And they're all signed. Darryl Strawberry days. Any sports athletes out there? But anyway, but also something I have that I really, really want to get back are my Garbage Pail Kids. And I don't know if any of you know what Garbage Pail Kids are. So I'm 47 this year. And so depending on your age, depends on whether or not you probably know what those are. I think I did see that. I think they did make a little bit of a comeback here recently, maybe the last 10 years or so. So I'll be curious to see what condition they're in. But Garbage Pail Kids were like the best. They ended up canceling those at my school because of. Can you hear that train? Because I got the door open. I don't know if you can hear the train. Train goes by 7 times a day. It's crazy. Anyways, and so they canceled other schools because you get things like Pressed Preston. There was this melty guy being pressed by an iron. Anyways, just Google Garbage Pail Kids. You'll be like, what? What was that? I think it was like the later generation. They had Pogs, and they have my kids collect they Fortnite cards. They collect some sort of cards now. So same concept. But we used to trade them, and you try to collect them because they always came in pairs. But you needed to trade with other people's to get the pair, and if you had the pair, you had the set. Anyways, I digress. And I had a lot of sets and a lot of pairs. And so, anyways. All right, my friends, let's check in on traffic one more time and see what's going on with the T-Dot cameras. And so we've got your typical backups there in and around downtown. That seems to be about the extent of it. This is your typical locations. Hall of Fame. Yep, there we go. Big old slowdown going on the eastbound lanes in downtown Knoxville. But that is about the extent of it. So let's cue. I like this bluegrass music, so we're going to cue the bluegrass music this morning. You hear that? Anyways, it is Tuesday. Remember, it's Tuesday, not Monday. It's always weird getting back after a 3-day weekend, holiday weekend, if you didn't work all weekend long. Thanks for joining me this morning. We sure hope you have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine. It's going to be so nice. So nice outside today. Take a nice little walk to do those fire pits. I'm going to build a fire pit graphic throughout the day today, so we'll start to see more fire pit graphics coming up because I love me a good old fire pit. Those are always a lot of fun. Isn't this so nice? It's refreshing. It just feels good. It was sure an active weekend. Anyways, if you have any cleanup work to do in your yard because of the severe storms, this weather over the next week or so is going to be picture perfect to get out there. You're probably looking at it going, I don't want to get out there and clean up, but we got to do what we got to do and life goes on, right? Thanks for sticking with me during the severe weather events. I really, really do appreciate it. You all came in droves, and you let me help you and your family out, and that's exactly where I want to be. You let me into your homes every single morning. For Wake Up with Witcher, you let me into your homes throughout the years, and you continue to let me in your homes during severe weather events, and you trust me, and I can't tell you that means the world to me, especially with what I'm doing and where I want East Tennessee weather to go. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, my friends, we'll send you back to the 24-hour weather channel just for a little bit. Well, I'm not quite sure. Let's see where we're going to pick this up. If you missed the forecast, how about this? I'll just start it from the very beginning. We'll start it from the very top. I'll come on screen. You'll get your forecast and look ahead. And then you can move about your day, and we'll shut down the live stream. All right, my friends, have a great day. Be safe. Be kind to each other. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7 o'clock.
You're watching East Tennessee weather. Weather when you want it.
Good morning. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. Sure hope you had a great and wonderful, safe Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, we had the severe weather. We had some heavy rain, but Memorial Day turned out to be a fantastic day. We ended up having a little bit of a wind, a little bit breeze, but comfortable air and some sunshine. Actually, we made it to 82 degrees in Knoxville, so a nice solid average day there. Crossville, same with you. Same in Chattanooga and also in Tri-Cities. But look at the rainfall that we saw. That was from midnight through the early morning hours. McGee-Tyson Airport picked up an inch and a half of rain, 55 hundredths of an inch in Tri-Cities, over an inch, I should say, in Chattanooga, and 85 hundredths in the Crossville area. So we saw a lot of rain, and that was not just this weekend, but over the last 7 days. So here's something to pass along to you. If you have an automatic sprinkler system, maybe shut that down for a couple of days. We got a nice couple of dry days ahead of us. The ground does not need any more water, so conserve a little bit of energy, some water, and maybe save a few bucks as well. But look at the rainfall that we've seen over the last 7 days. Incredible. So morning fog, afternoons, we're going to see some fog this morning. That will become sunny skies, and then we'll see some fair weather cumulus clouds developing during the afternoon. Clear and pleasant overnight tonight. Very comfortable for the rest of the week as a trough hangs out with us. We'll talk about that in a moment. And then next weekend, scattered light rain showers as a weak little disturbance swings its way into the area. So when you look at the dew point, that's how the air feels, the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. And so the higher the dew point, the more uncomfortable it is, especially the warmer the temperatures are. Well, our dew points are going to continue to fall throughout the day today down into the 50s, and that's going to make those temperatures feel amazing as that northwesterly flow takes shape. You can see this with our Futurecast model. We do have a northwesterly flow taking shape, and because of that, we'll get a little bit of moisture at about 4, 5, 6,000 feet in elevation, and so that's going to pop off some afternoon cumulus clouds. So we'll call it partly cloudy as we get into the afternoon, very similar to what we had yesterday afternoon, but again, very comfortable weather and dry conditions as well. So as we look ahead for the day today, we're going to see those temperatures climb into the mid-70s by lunchtime. That's going to be a nice lunch hour. Our goal today is going to be nice and average. We're going to be in the upper 70s to low 80s across the entire area. So a nice weather pattern this afternoon, and that's going to make for a very nice evening. So if we're back at it, we get some outdoor activities here tonight, ball practices. It's going to be very comfortable at the ball fields here tonight. By 8 o'clock, we'll be in the 70s. Now, those dew points will continue to stay right there 50 over tonight. The lower the dew point, the lower our morning lows can go because dew points are coming on down. Morning lows are going to be out of the 60s for the most part, and we're going to be down into. So that's going to make for a very comfortable start to our Wednesday. A little bit even more comfortable than what it is currently this morning. 3-day forecast, look at this. This trough is going to keep our temperatures in the 70s today, tomorrow, Friday, as we're rounding out the week. And the month, by the way, just absolutely picture perfect. And that's associated with this trough that's hanging out with us, okay? And so this now, that's why temperatures going to be on the cooler side. We have the northwesterly flow. That's why dew points come on down. The trough will start to work its way off to the east. A ridge is going to start to build as we round out the week. That's going to eventually help to bring us a little bit warmer weather. But as the ridge builds, here comes our next system. So there's our ridge. Here comes our next little weather maker out to our west, and that's going to be swinging its way through this Friday. So more likely the case on Saturday, but not a lot of energy with that. And then a ridge builds again on into our Sunday, maybe another disturbance on Monday, Tuesday time frame to bring us another chance for some scattered light rain showers. But really in the grand scheme of things, we're not looking at a lot of rain. So we're rain free all the way through Friday. We'll increase that a little bit as we get into our, say Saturday, Sunday time frame. So there is a chance for some scattered light rain showers over the weekend. But when you look at the rainfall forecast by the Weather Prediction Center, this takes us through Thursday. This is our 3-day forecast. No rain here locally. Take us to Saturday. Well, not really much here across East Tennessee and the southeastern U.S. and take us all the way through next Monday. And again, not a ton of rain. But you can definitely see how the rain is going to be building from the Great Plains to the Tennessee Valley. We just don't end up with a whole lot, I think, over the next 7 days. Very solid temperature trend on the way. Average highs in the low 80s. We're going to be in the upper 70s to low 80s. So very average indeed. And then low temperatures as well. A little bit below average. And then that humidity will increase a little bit. Dew points climb as we Tuesday as we get a return flow from the Gulf of Mexico. So highlighting the weekend forecast is super important. I know we're just coming off of a holiday weekend and a through weekend, but this next weekend a disturbance swings on in. Temperatures will hover right there in the upper 70s to low 80s. So a solid weather pattern on the way. I know we're going to take a break from checking the weather all the time, but just keep an eye on the weekend forecast and check it every once in a while. I'm not looking at any rainfall here this week, so the interactive radar will be nice and quiet. But you want to check in on those temperatures, any fog out there, and you can get that with your daily forecast updates right there from the East Tennessee Weather app.